I really have to be a basket case doing this project, but it's a fun one. So follow me step by step. Let's do a basket. The wood that I'm using is oak, and here I'm taking some of the bark off because the piece just flew away earlier. Lucky enough, I've got my face shield and everything is alright. Making a new tenon, and I'll take it out and I'll reverse it and put it into the chuck. I'm going to use few techniques here, follow it step by step, but in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here at the corner over there on the right side corner, subscribe, press the bell. It will remind you every time I put a new video. I'm going to use this piece of oak as my mold, the dummy, as you want to call it, and on top of it I'm going to put all the pieces that I created in advance for it, and the vessel, and then resin. And I'm going to use clear resin from a company called Art Expression from South Africa. And let's see how it's going to go out with this one. I need the base to be flat and straight because I'm going to glue a piece of wood on top of it that will create the base of the basket. The wood that I'm using is a Maranti. I cut it first on a bandsaw and I'm going to glue it with and because I had the center when I cut it on the bandsaw, I can put it here in the center and I'll leave it to dry for 24 hours. In the meantime, I'm cutting, I created 2x2 Maranti pieces, and I'm creating dowels, but square ones. You'll see then now what I'm going to do with them. When I was busy with this project, I also was doing a project for a friend of mine. For her daughter, I made a one, and I decided to check the one to see if it works. Otherwise, how can I give her a one that doesn't work? I'll put a mark on top here to see the link to the video of the one. I'm filling it up with resin that looks like aluminium, and I'll let it dry for a few hours, for a few days, a day or two. And now I'm going to take out the resin out of the vessels, the straw vessels. Let me try the one. Let me try once, twice, three. Works. The one works. I can give it to my friend. It's 100% working. And now I'm marking the wood, the dowel that I made in before, the square ones. I drilled them on one side only, and the drill is exactly 8 millimeter, so it will be exactly the same size as the size of the aluminum straws that I created earlier. At this stage, I start to machine it down to the shape that I want to create of the inside of the basket, the basic size of the inside, and I'm going to leave the leg of the wood. So you'll see like there is like a lip, and you will see just now why I'm losing the slip. I'm marking the guidelines to where I'm going to put the dowels in, and then I'm going to create. What I'm doing here is I'm just squaring it down a little bit because it's semi-rounded. So, and I want it to be a good base for the dowels. So I'm squaring it down a little bit over there, so it will glue better. Otherwise, it will be wobbly and it will not sit straight. And I'm going to divide it again into 8 pieces. What I'm doing now is I'm preparing the base of the basket that you see in the back over there. So I will have the guideline later when I put the resin where I have to go. And now I'm gluing with super glue, I'm gluing the dowels. And you can see now the hole that I made for the aluminum wire. Off camera, I also drilled the base for the wires. Somebody asked me earlier in one of the other projects that I did, how come that they are not hard and I can still work with them? And what I do is I'm using a heat gun and I'm just heating it up slowly, because if I hit it too strong, they will break. That's something I found out in a different project. So you have to warm it up slightly and they will become a little bit soft again. But if you hit it too much, it will break. So very carefully, I hit it down slowly. And then what I'm doing, I'm using a wire and I'm putting it and I'm holding everything together. The idea behind what I'm doing now is that I'm pulling the straws to one side. So when I cut them and I machine it, it doesn't sit straight. It sits with the angle of the project. And now I'm putting the wires. I'm using a very soft wire, so it's not going to damage my tools when I machine it. When I'll finish, I'll put it in the vessel, and then I'll put resin inside, and I'll put it in a pressure pot. And what I found out when I took it out of the pressure pot, I decided to use a technique that I learned from Jim from Sprague woodturning, and make life easy. Here it is. It goes into the pressure pot, and what I do is I drill the hole in the back of it. The hole can be closed down with just glue. And it makes life easy to take it out. And Sprague, Jim from Sprague Woodwork, go to his channel, see he's doing magical work. Now I'll start machining it now. First of all, I'm going to find the place where I prepared in advance to hold it, the recess to hold the whole project in the next stage. And then slowly I'll start working on the outside and creating the shape that I want for my basket. Plenty of resin, nice. It comes out very nice. I'm quite impressed with the resin. It doesn't break off. It comes out as one nice string. You can see here how nice it comes with the strings. It look more like Halloween, Father Christmas or something. Very nice. I'm quite impressed with this resin. At this stage, I could already see that I've got a small problem, but nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I'm putting on the wood, I'm putting wood sealer, and now I'm starting to sandpaper from 150 to here. First I'm going to create in advance already. I'm going to create the place for my logo. Some lines like I like to do all the time, and sandpapering from 120. I went from 120 all the way to 600, then Yorkshire grid. For Yorkshire grid, I'm going to do the Yorkshire grid is more for the wood. Sorry. And then I'm going to do water. I'm going to do it with water pads. I'm going to sand it with water pads, and from there I'm going to do the novus 3 and 2, and I'm going to get the shine. Now I said earlier that I saw there is a problem, and I see that some of the straws are broken on the connection, where's the metal connecting, and I was thinking to myself, what can it do and why did it happen? And I realized that it is possible that this resin got so hot that it hit the straws and they broke. Because like I said before, now I'm putting aubergine juice. As I said before, if you heat too much the straws, they will break. And I think that's what happened. If I'll use straws again, I'll probably use it with a very slow setting of resin, and maybe I don't going to get this heat. Now I start holding it inside, and I'm using a Mat 2 and Mat 3 from Jimmy Clues. I like to use them to hollow in when I keep the center, the tailstock, and I'm trying to keep the tailstock because I'm using on the other side I'm using a recess. I prefer to keep the tailstock as much as possible, so the thing will not jump on me and not fly away, and I'll have to restart everything from the beginning, and I'm going to take it out the last minute. Now that's the time that I'm a little bit all the time worried that I'll do a mistake. I'll go too deep, too fast, and it will jump and it will break. So this time I left it a little bit and then I took it off, and here it is, gone. And now I'm going to use a square carbide, and I'm going to take it step by step till the place that I want it. At this stage I was very worried, I'll be very honest with you. I was very worried that I made it too thin at the bottom, and I will go through, but lucky enough I didn't go through. I didn't have to repair it, and there is at least 5 or 10 millimeters of meat at the bottom where is the recess. And of course the same thing from 120 all the way to Yorkshire grid. From the Yorkshire grid I'm going to do wet pads, and then novus 3 to 1, and let's see how does it comes out. Is it clear enough, like the previous resin that I had? Is it better? Is it less? Just know that it gets hot very, very strongly, and I'll have to find a solution for that. But it cuts nice. It cuts very nice. You can see already it came out very clear. Aubergine juice just for the wood. Look at the colors inside the wood, and the wood. My logo, and then we have another one thing, and then we'll finish it. You can see here. That's what I was saying. You can see some of the straws broke off, and I don't know. Maybe it's a nice feature. I don't know. Maybe it looks like I just tied them together after being broken off. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and to like my video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers, bye.